It's August 1st, 2023. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. It is Steve's the Cat official birthday. 1 year ago today, he was adopted. Yay! It is also Midsummer Scream, which means we are starting to get to the preview of all the haunts we're going to see this year from both the major and the minor. But more importantly, it's Tuesday. And on Tuesday, we look at stuff from Games Workshop. That's right. We've got some new stuff from Games Workshop to look at. Some news, some lore, just generally appreciating the fact that these people can paint way better than I can. So this can be found at the Games Workshop website. Under your specific language of choice, you just click All News, and it goes right here. And the first story is they're doing Warhammer Organized Play. I don't know if this is a new thing, but they're doing Warhammer Organized Play. So looks like there are going to be tournaments at Warhammer stores and possibly regular stores that have the kind of wherewithal to carry Warhammer. And it's going to work like normal organized play. There'll be store championships. There'll be giveaways of packs and stuff. Cards, whatever it is. I don't think they're going to give you free figures, but it looks like you get some free merch. Perhaps, what is this? The pack can be used to rerun tournaments, combat patrol games, or large strike force games with the Leviathan tournament comparison. What do you get? You get 32 players, including 32 decks of core stratagem cards for players to reference during play, a glass trophy for the champion, and a certificate for awards such as Best Painter. 32 art cards, 32 transfer sheets, including new decals for your figures. All Warhammer official stores will be receiving these, so all Games Workshop stores and all stores that Games Workshop has recognized as official Warhammer. It says cash. I don't see anything about cash. I assume it just means prizes. Call me kind of unimpressed. Decals is basically the only thing you're getting, right? Unless you actually win, then you get a little glass statue. If I was a store, I'd throw in some coupons, 10% off, 20% off, something like that. Obviously, you can't do the same thing Magic does where you get, packs for organized play because, a pack of Magic cards costs nothing. A pack of, one single Warhammer figure, though, for Games Workshop to produce, probably a little bit more pricey. I mean, it's still pretty cheap at this point in time for them to make figures, but, yeah, I'd like to see something more. Stickers, t-shirts, tote bags, teeny plushies, dice, anything else, but still, okay. So if you're lucky enough to live in a town that has a Games Workshop store or possibly a FLGS that has actually got the wherewithal to be an official Games Workshop subsidiary store, see if they are doing this organized play. I've never heard of this before in the wild. I know they do shit like this over at the Games Workshop stores. So is this nothing new, or have I just never seen an officially sponsored Games Workshop store in the wild that wasn't an official Games Workshop? I know that made no sense. Okay, so there's actual Games Workshop stores that sell Games Workshop product only and provide space to play Games Workshop, and they offer painting classes. And then there are rare in the wild friendly local game stores that have jumped through the hoops necessary to be recognized as a official Games Workshop retailer. So the Games Workshop stores are the first party and the Games Workshop retails are the second party. So does that make any more sense? Probably not. All right, let's just move on. We've got some stuff for Underworlds coming out. And this one is talking about Plaguebearers for the Underworlds. Underworlds is another modified baby version of Warhammer. So every week they post these strategy guides. This one is for the Skabbix Plague Pack. So here's a strategy guide. If you want to play this specific army, in your Underworld deck. So these are rat people, and their main attack is disease and poison, thus the Plague Pat. And you'll find these up every week on the Warhammer site with different strategy guides for different armies. Definitely a good thing for beginners. There was something in here, but this was an anniversary of something. Let's see. They've updated the app again. So there is a Warhammer 40K app, and I assume eventually this will also do Warhammer Fantasy. Basically, it's a thing that lets you keep your army stats on and your army cards and how much points you've spent on them, and what the specific figures do. It's a really great way to keep track of your armies and of each individual figure and how many points you spent. This is one of the few times I actually think this is a good idea, because keeping track of all that stuff on cards or paper is just a nightmare. Of course, you have to expect the place you're playing to have the internet speed and technology to run the program, but still, great way to keep track of your armies. And it looks like they've just added an update. I thought there was something about an anniversary. They're already talking about October. There is this I just saw a thing about one of these. Apparently, there are some of these giant ones, these massive ones, running for like $5,000, paying $5,000 for one specific figure. And I don't even know if that's pre-painted or just in the wild normal. But here is an example of one of these huge figures that they have made. So yes, and this is a Knight Lancer, currently massive resin miniature, but they're also coming out with a plastic version of it. So, and the easier plastic to work with. You can even see the little pilot. That's cute. And this little remote control. And then he sits inside here, all giant robot type, and he goes stomping around doing giant robot things. How big is this? Doesn't say. But I did read something yesterday that there are these large Titan figures, War Boss figures out there that can run up to $5,000. That's just, I mean, if you've got the kind of money, great on you, but wow. Here's another example army. This one is called the Saurian Fury Vanguard. The Saurians, of course, being lizard people. Here's all painted up, and again, a strategy guide and a painting guide. Again, these are on the website every week. Interesting. Definitely going for sort of an Aztec feel here. And let's see, what are they previewing for coming up figure-wise? We already looked at that guy. We already looked at these guys. Here's some cards for the Warhammer Underworld. We looked at this guy last week. I don't really like this guy. This guy just doesn't do it for me. Something about this figure just doesn't work. That robot just looks bad. And he just looks, I don't know. Normally, I love the paint jobs and I love the Warhammer figures and I love the quality and content that people can create with these figures. With this one, there's just something about this guy that just doesn't work for me. I don't know. What do you think? Do you like this figure? Got some new stuff coming out from the Black Library. Got the Fall of Cacadia Mega Limited Edition series. This comes with a notebook, the actual book, a medal, a dog tag, some maps. We have a price. There's only 1,750 copies of these in existence, and it doesn't say how much this is going to be, but I'm assuming over 100. Then we got another book. This one's from Sandy Mitchell. It's called Vanglorious, set in the spacey world. Then we got the Crispian Kane anthology. Crispian Kane, I guess, a character in the lore of the spacey world. We've got a Warhammer 40k book by Rob Young called Longshot. We've got a Warhammer 40k book called For Glory and Honor by Andy Clark. We've got a Warhammer 40k book by Eobard Albert called Kasriken. We've got an audio book called The Emperor's Gift available. This one is by Aaron Demoski. You can get that from any audiobook retailer. We've got a French book by Stephen Fisher set in the world of Warhammer 40k called Le Veneur des Sorceress. Venue, so the place of the sorcerers. We've got from Mike Brooks something called Herrschers des Maelstroms. I'm going to guess that's possibly German. Another book coming out, this one French, called La Matière Heressure, and that's from Mike Brooks. And that seems to be it for this week's previews. Pre-orders this week for Warcry. We've got another new Warcry set, this one called Crypt of Blood. We've already looked at this one. This is the Vampires versus Paladins one. Warcry's and yet another teeny skirmish version of sort of baby Warhammer fantasy. If you ever wanted to get into this type of style, but you don't want to do the full jump into the deep end, spend $5,000 on one figure, Warcry is a great way to start. Plus, you get a whole bunch of figures you could use for any fantasy type game. I have played Warcry twice. I lost both times. Ooh, look at these guys. Ghouls? Yes. And look, a figure with legs. All these guys have legs. How amazing that is. Warhammer figures with legs. Okay, that seems to be about it this week. Nothing really standing out news-wise. I thought there was a anniversary this week, but I guess I was wrong. Oh, here we go. Is it the 40 years of Warhammer, the Evergreen Grace, the Age of Sigmar? Ooh, look at that figure. Some kind of elf druid nightmare caster riding a bizarre-looking giant insect beetle. I don't know what that thing is, but that's cool. Whoever she is, she's pretty awesome. And then I guess these are some friends of hers. Kind of a vampire riding in a powered armor suit made out of wood. Some kind of powered, I don't even know, tree people attacking. Has it really been 40 years? So I guess this is the figures they're releasing for the 40-year anniversary. And every week they've been releasing a new figure, marking down, we're day 29 of the countdown. Wow, that's nice. I wish I could paint half that good. I wish I could paint it all. Anyways, that seems to be it this week for new stuff from the Worlds of Game Workshop. If you want to see me do this continuously in the future, let me know. If you never want to see me talk about Games Workshop ever again, let me know. Till then, that's it for today. I am the OG GM. Wishing you all a happy first day of Midsummer Scream. Happy birthday to Steve. And remember, it's my birthday, so you got to get me presents. See ya. Happy